Simple Strategy Factory. And if you're joining us for the first time, you have no idea what Lim Simple is, you came upon this by accident. Well, Lim Simple is an acronym for Live Investing Money and Business Made Simple. I maybe want to wonder, like, why exactly are we, working with this acronym? Is that we find that when it comes to business, right, there is so much discrepancies. There are so many ideologies, there are so many thought processes, there are so many strategies that sometimes leave business owners, entrepreneurs, or even professional executives very confused as to what exactly they should do and how to properly align their business for success. So what we have decided to do is to break down the walls and explain business in the most easy way, so that you have actionables that you can work with almost immediately from every session or from every conversation or from any engagement that you have with us as a brand. So that's what the Lim Simple brand is about. And over time, we have, gone ahead to create the Lim Simple Business Academy, under which the Lim Simple Strategy Factory, the Lim Simple Strategy Grid Convention that's happening in November, and the 26th and 27th falls under that category. One-on-one speaking engagements and the mastermind for Lim Simple falls under that category. So that's what the academy is about. Now, over the course of 15 years, we have successfully worked with a lot of companies across various industries, from real estate to tech firms to logistic companies to the healthcare services. We've worked with everybody, right? And the reason why this is important for you to know is because what we are going to be discussing in the next 1 hour are strategies, mindset shift that has helped a lot of these businesses to transform not just how they do business, but then how they treat the people that do businesses for them. You probably know the man on your screen. His name is Ezekiel Shilesi. He is the head coach at Lim Simple. And in the year 2022 to 2023, he was inducted into the Forbes Coaches Council. Now, over the course of time, we have worked with about 4,000 entrepreneurs, and about 52 of them right now do more than $1 billion in revenue. And the reason why they're able to hit this number is because at the very beginning, they sat through an introductory class, just like the one that you're going to be listening to right now. So I want us to start to think about it as these conversations or the ideas that we'll be talking about today is something that has changed the mindset, the lives of a lot of people and counting. So let's get started, right? Now, what I want us to think of before we go into strategy, before we go into understanding what the business is first of all going back to the genesis. And that question then would be, what do you really want? It's easy for us to get really clouded with all the activities that is happening around, right? I mean, some people Davido just completed his wedding, right? I mean, I think they did 3 weddings, if I'm correct. And some people see the wedding and the lifestyle and that's what they want for themselves right now, realistically or unrealistically. Some people see the success of a lot of business owners, on social media, and they paste their own, requirements from their business on that's your yardstick for what success means for them. My question to you right now, whether you're an entrepreneur and you've been in business for a month, or you've been in business for a very long time, or you are a professional at your job, what do you really want? What I find is that because they want a business. They actually start businesses because of what they want a business to give to them, which in effect is not really bad. I mean, it's the end of the goal is more important sometimes than the goal, right? But my question first again goes back to, what do you want? So that when every other thing but what you want is right in your face, you remember, the reason why you started business. When it gets really difficult, like it would in entrepreneurship, you know that, I signed up for this and this is what I intend to achieve with this. And for many people, the business itself is not a sustainable reason for them to keep doing it. the success of it, the numbers that they look at might not be enough reason for them. What could be motivation enough for them could be any of the things listed in this slide. First of all, can everyone confirm that you can see my screen? Okay. Okay, great. All right. So a lot of people, are being in business right now unintentionally, but the reason why they are in business is because they probably want to, they want financial freedom. They want to contribute to society. They want maybe peace of mind, good health. They want to build an asset. They want to retire in style. They want good education. They want a beautiful lifestyle. I mean, this is you, right? Any of this sounds familiar? If it does, I personally think that that's the dream. But let me ask you something. How many of you feel right now that your business is giving you the exact opposite? Like your business isn't giving you the freedom that you want. It's stressing you so much that you constantly have to check your blood pressure, and you're forced to exercise right now, not because you want to, but because you know that at this point in my life, the amount of stress that I go through, I somehow have to take intentional care of myself. How many of you have businesses that are not really making you profit, but you're still going to keep doing it, right, and keep giving your best? How many of you aren't really where you want to be with your knowledge acquisition, but then you're intentional about learning regardless? Though you might be in business right now, but your business isn't doing all of this. And if it's not, the gap that you have to fill is strategy. And so that's what this class is about. What strategies do you need to implement right now into your business to do the mental shift, if that's what you need, the strategy shift, if that's what you need, the branding shift, the communication shift? What exactly does your business need right now for you to thrive? Now, the actual thing that we want to start from now, it's not even the strategies. It's not even this is what the problem is and this is what we need to fix. We want to go all the way to conceptualization of your business. So what I want us to first of all understand before anything is this. Right here listening to me on this call, they are entrepreneurs in this class, right? And these entrepreneurs are divided into two. One is that you are the employee with an entrepreneur. The employee is an entrepreneur that has just one client. And then the business owner is an entrepreneur with many clients. So now I'll give you an instance, right? If you right here are under an employee, someone is your boss, the only person that you are ideally servicing at that point is your boss. That's why you wake up every morning, Monday to Friday, you're in the office, you're sending as much emails, you're listening to, taking up escalations, yada, yada. The moment your organization feels that they no longer need your services or they can outsource your service, you get that mail that says, unfortunately, we no longer, require your services, and here's, a termination letter of your employment. The moment you get that mail, you know that you are an employee without any clients. You are an entrepreneur without any clients. On the flip side, a business owner is an entrepreneur with many clients and many job roles. So you probably know someone that, or this could even be you, that runs a business and you are the designer, you are the marketer, you are the sales girl, you are the delivery person, you are the customer care person. To be fair, you are a business owner, but in reality, you are an employee in your own business, in your own company. And even if you are a business owner that has a lot of people under your employ, those people under your employ are still, what's that? Anyways, and if you are a business owner with a lot of people under your employ, those people under your employ expect a certain level, they have an expectation from you. The expectation would be for you to pay their salaries, sometimes regardless of if they put in the work that you require of them or not. Regardless of what stage you are in right now, either you are an entrepreneur, and your only client is your boss, or you're a business owner that doesn't really have a business, but you attend to everything, or you have a couple of people working for you. What we need to understand first off is what a business is. Because you could be in business for a very long time, and then the reason why you're actually not in business is because you're doing everything wrong, or you're doing something wrong. And it might not even be a problem with your process. It might be a problem with your understanding of what a business should essentially be. So here's what I want us to do. Like I said I would like for this class to be as interactive as possible. So if you can, please unmute your mic and talk to me. Let me know, what is a business? What do you think a business means to you? And what does a business need to be for it to actually be a business? I'd like someone to unmute their mic and say something real quick. Hello, Mr. Sylvanus. Can you unmute your mic?
Hello, good morning. Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Ma. Can I proceed?
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. To my own understanding, a business is any organized activities that is conducted either by a person or an organization that is in any way contribute to the goods and services of what? Of the people. Let me take it again. A business is any organized activities conducted either by a person or an organization that is in any way contribute to the goods and services of the people for economic goods and services. Thank you so much.
Mr. Sylvanus, that's a very enormous definition, and I like it. I like it because when I show you what I think a business is, you'd agree with me and you see why I think you're very right. Okay? So another person wants to say what they think a business means to them, and there's absolutely no wrong answer. Because even the definition I'm going to say, it's not even my definition. I think I see Osai Gift. I do not want to murder your surname, please. Can you kindly unmute your mic and let me know what your thought is? Hi, Gift. I mean, okay. I can hear you crystal clear.
All right. So add to what Mr. Sylvia has said, a business is for profit making, because you starting a business is an
Okay, now I'm
intention for you
struggling
to
to
make
hear
profit.
you. Oh my god. I'm struggling to hear you.
Can you
Can I
hear
let
me?
that person hear her? Let me assume it's my network.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, ma.
All right. So I said, to add to what Mr. Sylvanus have said, a business is also a profit-making venture, because having an intention to own a business or run a business through rendering service or selling a product is for profit making. So that is not.
I totally agree. So you added profit making to it. Makes your definition even better. Okay. You see why I say so. Any other person wants to say something real quick? Any other person wants to say anything real quick? Okay. In the absence of no other contribution, right? Oh, Mr. Tochukwu Chukuma, kindly unmute your mic, please. Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'll just take this from the different here, but I just want to also touch on some realities, right? So a business can also be, the first person said organized, but it could also be disorganized, right? That's factoring in realities, right? A business could also be profitless, because there are some businesses that in their first few years they make losses on the business. We've seen models like that in Amazon, right? But it's for a purpose, right? So, but at the end of the day, business is also something that produces revenue, right? revenue. Let me stop on that.
Okay. I mean, I totally agree with you, Mr. Toshiko. I 100% agree with you, especially the part where you said that, you know, a business can be disorganized, and that it is also something that doesn't entirely make you profit in the beginning. I just wanted to touch on what you said about Apple and Amazon, right? So Amazon, quite all right, didn't make no money. That is what we are told. But to be in fact, they did make money, right? The only difference is that they were putting that money right back into the business. So I just wanted to clarify that. But thank you so much. And when he says that a business can be disorganized, in my that is going to have all the process and procedure already created. You don't start a business and expect it to be 100% in order. You started I mean, the difference between people that do something great and those that do nothing is moving in spite of the fear that you have. So you start a business, you really don't know how to go about it, but then you start it, and then on the job you grow. And as you grow, it's quite simple. You get people that are professionals at organizing it to organize it for you. But you, I mean, have to grow into the point where you have the money to afford that, right? But that aside, let's see what a business means, right? And this definition is from Josh Kaufman, and he puts it in the most amazing way ever. Josh Kaufman says in his book, The Personal MBA, I think you should read this book already. He says that a business is a repeatable process that does 5 things. So here are the boxes that your business must tick if you are really going to call yourself a business owner. Number 1 is a business is a repeatable process that creates and delivers something of value that other people want or need at a price that they are willing to pay, in a way that satisfies the customers' needs and expectations, so that the business brings in enough profit to make it worthwhile for the owners to continue operation. Now, this is the most in-depth definition of what a business can mean for me. And then what I really take from this is that a couple of things. It must be repeatable. It must have a process. It must bring in profit. And it must have some form of satisfaction, both for you, the business owner, and then your customers that you're servicing. If your business is able to do these 4 things, be repeatable, be process-driven, strive for profit and satisfaction for consumer and producer, then I promise you're going to have a successful business. However, I do know that it can be quite difficult factoring all 5 things into together, right? So let's talk about how you can create a business that ticks all 5 boxes. The first thing we want to talk about then is, right now, think about your business and start to think about how valuable are your offer. How valuable is the business proposition, your product, your service? How valuable is it? It's quite easy to identify how to get your viability, and that's what we'll talk about in the next slide. The first thing you want to do is to ascertain, number 1, does it serve a huge and expanding market? Because one thing I find is that, see, the inflow of ideas is infinite for the human mind. When your nerves fire, there's so much. I mean, I can identify that there's a problem in this sector, so I want to create something that solves that problem. Amazing. But that problem, how long would that problem keep being a problem? Is it long enough for you to profit while solving that problem? Or is it a problem that there already is a solution to? The solution that already exists, can I optimize it? Or can I create more problem and provide more solutions? That's something you want to start to think about, right? However, if you right now are a product-based business, right? And I'm not talking yet about services, or even if you're a service-based business, I need to sit down quickly with yourself and think, if your product or your service disappeared completely, would anyone notice? Would there be any pain? Is there going to be a difference? Because I see businesses in two ways. Your business either falls into, or maybe three ways. Your business either falls into the, painkiller category or the supplement category, or it's a mix of the two of them. Let me explain what I mean. If you have a headache, you know for sure that you need to get paracetamol or diclofenac, something to numb the pain, to stop the pain. That is a necessity. Maybe that is against sleep, but that is a necessity. If you've got like a vitamin deficiency, you could say, well, I could source that from, from fruits, something like that. So you could even postpone that because it is not as much as an emergency as having constant migraines would be. When you think about these two things, right, that's what I want you to think about your business as. Your offers, the offers that you have in your business, are they painkillers? Do they instantly suit the concerns that your clients have? Or are they vitamins that at the long run, with consistent use, your clients would see how good an offer your business is? So, because that affects how huge or how big you're going to be in business. So I'll give you an instance, right? In COVID was in 2019 or 2020, COVID-19, right? 2019. In 2019, right? At the peak of COVID, restaurants closed, cinemas closed, school closed, even airlines were shut down, right? But see, Zoom exploded because at the point when Zoom was, they were serving an expanding market. So when you think about your business, the first thing you want to get is, does it serve a huge market? So for instance, now, if you are in real estate, obviously you are selling, and you're probably selling real estate in a country like Nigeria, you're selling or you're operating in an industry that is an expanding market. But if, for instance, you are, say, someone has like a cyber cafe right now, as much as there are a lot more people on social media right now, a lot more Nigerians surfing the internet, you agree with me that having a cyber cafe is rather a terrible business idea, right? So, question then would be, if you're looking at the numbers, which is what should determine how well you position your product, is the numbers looking like your industry is expanding? And if it's not, do you create a business model that works in such a way that you're able to get in, if it's a cash cow, create your profit and exit the market early enough? The next thing we want to talk about then would be, can it be built into a unique product? Because to be fair, almost every industry is saturated. It might not look like that, but there's nothing new under the sun, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But uniqueness gives you something. It gives you pricing power, right? So if you're selling a commodity, like say, let's use some. Do you guys know this guy on Instagram? He I can't quite remember his name. He sells this water that is in a blue bottle, and he's always running with his dog, very energetic. Does anybody know the person I'm describing? Oh my god, I wish somebody would. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody knows the person. You know him, right? Thank you, great. You know that guy is just selling bottled water. That thing is bottled water. But what he has done is that exactly, thank you. But what that guy has done, right, is that he has added luxury to pure water. He has added luxury to water packaging. So now he's no more just selling hydration. he's selling status. It's like how iPhones right now, right? The Apple brand isn't even just selling digital products. They're not just selling smartphones. The iPhone right now is selling class, it's selling status, it's selling exclusivity, right? So my question then would be, what makes your business so hard to copy? Now, it doesn't even have to be the branding. The one thing that makes your business so great could be how intentional you communicate your business. It could be how great your customer service is. It could be how intentional you are about your digital marketing. So one thing you want to sit right now with yourself, if there's anything you're taking out of this conversation on how unique your product is, it would be, if your customers can easily switch from, patronizing you to patronizing another business, it means that the profit margin that you have is going to bleed, and it's going to bleed very well. And no, choosing to reduce the price of your product and say, oh, I want to be the most affordable person selling, say, handbags or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to scale your business, because in the profit fight, everybody dies. You decide that I want to come into the market and this item is sold for 150,000 naira. You decide to sell it for 90,000 naira. Somebody else gets a better distributor or a manufacturer from China, and they are getting their own product at, say, 60,000 naira, and they come in and they say, oh, I'm going to sell at 75,000 naira. The moment people figure out that there's somebody selling it cheaper than you, because the reason they came to you was because your price was cheaper, all of them are going to go now to the person that has the more affordable price, which means automatically your business is dead. So your uniqueness now should be based on what you offer them, user experience, a community, something that is totally different. Right? Now, the next thing that I want us to think about would be, can you confirm that you can hear me? Because my network is quite flaky.
Yeah,
okay,
we can hear you.
So, okay, great. So the third thing that we want to decide now is your business in its time? Thank you very much, sir. Is your business in its time? See, timing sometimes is more important in the success of your business, the growth of your business, than the strategy that you're even applying at all. So I'll give you a couple of instances, because I like to give people instances for them to see exactly what I'm trying to say. Does anybody know when MTN and is it Celtel or eConnect came out? When telecommunication just started in Nigeria, they were the two big dogs, right? It was MTN and was it first Celtel or V-Mobile or eConnect? I can't remember which, but I mean, it's all three companies that have been sold, that we now have Airtel now. But when these telecommunications came into the country, MTN had one thing that they want, V-Mobile. Thank you very much, Mr. David. Thank you. So one thing that gave them the urge above MTN is, one thing that gave MTN, the urge above V-Mobile is because they had, first off, the first access into the industry. They were the first telecommunication brand to start telecommunication in the country. And so the government itself knows that bootstrapping a business, especially as a pioneer status bootstrapper, is very difficult. And so what they do is that they give you 10 years tax-free. For 10 years, you don't have to pay tax. Because what they expect you to do with that time is to invest that money back into the business. And what do you do when you invest the money back? You're investing it to communicate and to inform the market, educate the market about the service that you're trying to give to them. Now, the time frame between education and the growth of that business can be so long enough for a business to die if they don't have a great strategy or if you don't have good enough funding. And that's the reason why V-Mobile easily crumbled to MTN. But guess what? There was somebody in the background watching all of this that did not even invest in telecommunication just yet. And that's where Globacom comes in. What he did was he waited until everybody saw that, access to the internet, the mobile phone is something that is inevitable for the basic, typical Nigerian or African. When he figured that the industry is completely educated, that's when he comes in and then he invests his money. And so that's why we have Globacom, the only Nigerian-owned telecommunication business. Let me give you another example. Before Facebook, we had MySpace. And MySpace, just like Facebook, the only difference is that they were just too early. They were not there at the right time. Before Instagram, there were other photo sharing, platforms, but Instagram came at just the right time when people were willing to share their lives with others. Before we had Jumia, there was OLX, there was everything, right? There were so many other pioneer status businesses that started off in industries that was not fully educated. If you look back, you'll find out that a lot of these businesses have died off, not because they were not trying to solve a need, but because they were trying to solve a need that the customers did not even realize that they had at the point that they were trying to solve them. So in that case, the person that wins that battle, maybe not a battle, but the person that wins that territory is going to be the person that has waited for the need to arise well enough that those that need it know that they need it, and they're able to find that one person that they feel can completely solve that need that they have. So if you're in business right now, what you want to start to think about then would be your idea. You have the best idea, but is the infrastructure, the culture, the technology, the people, are they ready for the solutions that you are willing to offer? So again, it's your business and it's time. That's a third thing that Josh Kaufman says, right? The fourth one now would be, does it give you leverage? And leverage is quite different for a lot of people, right? Remember when we started this, where I said, what do people really want? And we said that, some of us want financial freedom. Some of us want, to retire in style. Some of us just want good health and quality education. But leverage in this sense would be, is your business making enough money for you to live the life that you want? Because if your business only makes money when you show up and when you are available, when you are there, then your staff want to work. When you're not available, nobody wants to do no job. Or if you're a business where you do everything yourself, and the moment you are sick, that's it. There's no money coming in. There's just debits going out. And then your business can only come back again when you're fully, well. Then that's a problem, because like Josh Kaufman is saying, you're not really in business. So for you to leverage in your business, what you would need to do would be that you'd have to create multiple systems, right? You have to create systems, you have to create people that can duplicate the work that you do. You have to probably even leverage on technology, right? What you want to do is to build a business that is not about you, but about two things: the people that you are trying to solve a problem for, and the people that work for you. When you have these two sorted out, your business would naturally give you the leverage to do the things that really make you happy. Now, we have fully explained, a couple of things: how to deliver value that people want. Let's talk about, how needed your offers are. Because in reality, every business, is established because we are trying to solve a problem, and every business exists to meet a human need. And if you're building a business or you have built a business, this part of the conversation is one thing I want you to think about intentionally, right? Because the mass sorry, the Maslow pyramid, the one that you see on the screen, says that humans have needs based on 5 levels. The first one from the bottom says that the first human need that everyone has is a psychological need. And psychological need would be food, water, air, shelter, sleep, clothing. The next one will be safety needs. Safety needs would be personal security, employment, resources. The next would be love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. But this is a lot to handle, right? So what I want to do right now is to break it down for us to really understand where your business falls in. And a couple of minutes, I'm going to ask us individually where you think your business solves. Because what I want us to understand is what need in the human ecosystem is your business trying to solve. And so that if you see that there's no need that it is solving, you want to go back to your drawing board and figure it out, right? So we said psychological need, right? A company like Dangote is solving a psychological need for the Nigerian populace. Dangote sells salt. Dangote sells sugar. Dangote sells cement. Dangote sells food, noodles, pasta, right? He is operating actively in the psychological need. Dangote sells fuel right now, right? So everything that he does, every business that he's creating is trying to solve the psychological needs of Nigerians. We could look at, say, GT Bank when it comes to banking, right? GT Bank became so good because they figured out that financial security is what Nigerians needed the most. So that's a need that you're serving. When it comes to love and a sense of belonging, a company like Facebook is solving that. Because what Facebook did when they started was that, wanted to create a platform where you're able to share pictures with your friends and your friends comment on the pictures that you share. So they're giving you a sense of connection, a sense of love, a sense of community. When we talk about esteem, then a brand like, say, Rolex is selling esteem. A brand like, say, the Mercedes-Benz, from the G-Wagon upwards, is selling, esteem. And then when we talk about self-actualization, attending master classes, like the Slim Simple Master Class, attending the Strategy Factory, attending the Strategy Good Convention, helps you become the best version of yourself. So self-actualization. So my question now would be, and I'm going to have everyone please unmute your mic, because this is more important for you than for me, is to sit down right now for the next couple of seconds right now and ask yourself, where does your business sit on this pyramid? And do your clients know that your business actually addresses any or all of these needs? So would anyone like to unmute their mic and talk to me about what their business is? And if they think that their business solves any of the human needs that we have listed up here. Anyone? Okay. Can everyone hear me first of them? Hi, Mr. Taiwo. Kindly unmute your mic.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Taiwo. So, I'm under psychological need.
Okay. Talk to me about that. What do you sell?
I'm a paint producer. I produce different type of paints to the market. In terms of emulsion, word satin, matte.
And so I asked 2 questions. The next question I ask is, do your clients realize, right, that you are the only person that they know that can solve that problem for them?
No, they didn't realize that.
Now that's where your job is.
You said?
Because you can see that. I said that's where your job comes in, right? That's what you need to do now. Because what we have realized now, from what we have said now, is that Shelter is one of the inevitable needs that every person, every human being has. So the question that
Yes.
I want to ask you then will be, if you sell paints and you sell really good quality paints, how many real estate developers do you know personally? How many?
I know like
Because they have
2.
you know two,
Yes.
sir. You mean only one and two?
2.
Okay. So real estate developers approximately count for maybe 70% of the houses that are built in Lagos. Imagine you are able to talk to about, say, 15 real estate developers every month. And out of the 15 of them, only 3 of them, let's just assume, I mean, just 3 of them, or even 2 of them agree to having you use your product for the painting of their, structure. Depending on how good the quality of your product is, right? You're able to do that every month. It's impossible for you to not scale your business. But the
Exactly,
question
man.
now is that you probably don't know how needed the service that you're offering is, and that's why you don't know the people that need the service that you're offering.
Okay, man.
So again, I mean, if no other person is willing to unmute your mic, I just want us to end off this slide by saying that identify what your need is clearly. Now start to think about how many people have that problem, need the problem that you're solving, and directly try to reach out to them and prefer that solution to them. Simple. The next thing we want to talk about then would be, according to Josh Kaufman, he also says that, satisfaction is an important need of what the business should do. So my question for you would be, how satisfied do you leave every client that comes to do business with you? Because in reality, right, a lot of businesses don't end because of a lack of new customers. A lot of businesses end because of a dissatisfaction from previous customers, or maybe a lack of referral by, existing customers. And when I talk about satisfaction, right, satisfaction here isn't just about, customer satisfaction isn't just about, being nice and being your business process being easy to follow. Customer satisfaction in this time, right now, is about having a business that does 3 things: repeat businesses, a business that it has referrals, and a business that has retention. When you leave your customer satisfied, they will do these 3 things for you. They would always repeat their patronize with you. They would always easily refer you, and you would always have them retain doing business with you. Because at the end of the day, right, customer experience, customer satisfaction makes or break. I mean, let's think about this practically. How many times have you gone into a business, right? Went to patronize them, and the way they treated you, you swore to yourself, like, I'm never gonna come get something here again. Now it doesn't even stop there. If you are me, chances are you'd also tell your brother, your sister, your enemy not to patronize that business. And that's just how much the word of mouth from a dissatisfied customer can do to your business. Right? Another thing we want to now talk about is, how profitable is your business? Thank you. Thank you very thank you. I mean, look at what has happened to before now. As a company, we boycott Epis because of the many issues with their flights, and I'm not going to book Epis. Everybody knows. Nobody in my company is going to book Epis too. And we fly constantly, right? And what were we always booking? IBOM Air. Because, well, we personally haven't had a bad customer service with them. We also haven't really had a flight cancelled or a flight delayed. So in our head, right, IBOM Air is where the gold is at. now look at it. I probably would have my little reservations right now if I wanted to book a local flight and I wanted to patronize Ibom Air. And even if I did, I'll be so intentional about looking out for the many loopholes in their system, which I would ideally not have before this incident happened. So again, it takes us back to how satisfied are you leaving your clients, right? Thank you so much for that, Mr. Tochukwu. So let's talk a little about profits, right? And profit right now isn't really about the money that you're making now. Profit isn't even about how much money comes into your business. Profit really is the cost of the future of your business. Is the cost of the growth of your business, is the cost of the innovations that you have to do for your business to thrive. Because what minister says that wealth isn't measured in time. Sorry, wealth is measured in time and not in number. So my question then would be, if you stopped working today, right now, the money that you have, maybe in your investments, maybe in crypto, maybe saved up, maybe in assets, can it give you lifestyle that you're currently experiencing now? Can it give you the leisure that you have access to right now? Because if it can't, then maybe you're really not wealthy. And then when you think about wealth as with time, you realize that if I give you this example, you probably understand me. If a 75-year-old man is, it's not a billionaire yet, and the chances of him being a billionaire at 75 is slimmer than the chance of a 29-year-old man doing that, right? So what we're really measuring right now isn't even the numbers, it's in the time. So how much time are you putting into your business? And then, like, one thing I find, and one thing that we have found with working with a lot of entrepreneurs, is the fact that what really, really kills businesses is not even a lack of funds, it's the appropriation of the funds. It's in the way that we spend the money that we make. Because sometimes you're making a lot of money, but you don't know where all of that money is going to. So if you're in business right now, I want us to do this activity that has transformed so many businesses. A lot of the videos that was played, the testimonial videos that were played, all of them in that testimonial video took this class. And then by the end of this assignment, activity rather, I'm going to ask us 2 questions. These 2 questions would greatly inform how you do business and if you are actually even in business and what business should really mean for you. So the first question would be the screen. Can you see it first? Okay. I need us to get a pen and a paper or a calculator. You're going to need it. Please trust me on this one. You're going to need a pen and a paper. You're going to need a calculator. And we're going to spend 15 minutes on this. I might have to move along really fast. So if you're not, on your toe, trying to get these numbers punched in and getting everything figured out, we might have to leave you behind. So once you have your paper and your pen, please let me know and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm assuming everyone has got their paper and pen. And then the first thing we want to talk about is on your screen, it says expense, it says yearly, daily, and monthly. What we want to understand is where all of this money is going to per month, per day, per week, per year. Now, rent. If you're a Lagosian, some of us pay rent per year, and some of us, I found out recently that some people pay rent per month. So if you say like your rent is 5 million per year, what I want you to do right now is divide 5 million by 12 months. Because 12 months is how many months we have in a year, right? So that gives you how much you're supposed to pay in rent per month. I need you to write that number for yourself on that paper. Write your yearly rent, then divide that by 12 so you see how much you're supposed to be paying in rent per month. When you do that, just go to the chat box right there and write RE done. Just like that. So I'm going to give us 1 minute for each tax. Like I said, it's really, really tap. I'm trying to get us out of here in another 10, 15 minutes so that you can have really good an evening. Oh, wait, can everyone hear me? My network flaky.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Shenwo Joe, I'm assuming it's probably your network. So again, if you're done with rent, please write RE done. Or is it only Adama that's, taking this activity with us? Okay, like I said, we're going to go on to the next one. So now transportation, right? Wait, does everybody understand what I'm trying to explain? I just want to be sure that was clear enough. Okay, great. Okay, great. The next thing we want to figure out now is transportation, right? If you're taking you've got a car and you drive to work every day, you probably spend maybe 50,000 naira per week in. Sorry, that's my alarm. Maybe 50,000 per week in fueling your car. You can multiply that by the 4 weeks in the week, and that's how much you have to spend per month for fueling your car. If you use public transport, maybe to and for your office is probably say 5,000 naira or 3,000 naira. That's how much you spend per day. Multiply it by how many days you have to go to work. See, I don't say by 5 days, because some people work remotely, some people, whatever your arrangement is. Multiply that daily amount with how much you spend for the days that you have to go to work. And then so now you have how much you spend for transportation per month if you use the public transport. If you use a ride, to and fro, you can get like an estimate of how much Uber, or Bolt, or InDrive would cost you, right? So calculate that and then multiply by the times you have to, go to work. So that gives you how much you spend daily and how much you spend monthly. When you're done with that calculation, just write TP, oh my God, sorry, TP done in the chat box like that. So take your time, and when you're done, write TP done. But don't take all your time, just take a little bit of time. Thank you, Mr. David, for staying along. I see you, Rukewe. So when you're done, just write TP done. Okay. The next thing then would be utility. Utility is light bill, Loma, DSTV, GoTV, Apple Music, Prime, Netflix, the 9 yards, estate dues, light bill, all of that. That's how much whatever amount it is you spend on that, please write that for yourself as your monthly utility bill. This one might take a little more time to calculate, so I'll be patient. And I hope that we understand that this isn't for your business, so this is for you personally. This is what you spend at home, not in your office, in your house. Your office is different. In your house. Okay. So when we're done with that calculation, let us write UT done. Is everyone still with me? UT done? Anyone? All right, great. So let's do feeding cost. Now, feeding cost isn't the money that you spend to buy foodstuff. Feeding cost is the money that you spend on eating out. So eating out at work, eating out with friends, a quick shawarma there, quick burger there, a quick suya there. Those little money, that's your feeding cost. If you can calculate how much you spend on that, I think that's a superpower. But you need to. So when you do that, please write FC done. Now, I want us to realize that, all of these calculations aren't really facts. They are speculations that we're doing, speculations that are necessary. So I don't expect anyone to have like a, a correct figure or anything. Still, you're done with that, just write FC done. And then we're going to go next now to groceries. Now, grocery is the amount that you spend on stocking your house. So the house keep, the food stuff, the toiletries, everything that gets your house, that makes your house, or your home. Calculate that. And when you're done with that, just write GR done. I really like how nobody's really stopping, right? So even if I've gone past the one that you haven't done, please just get to read and join us where we are. I really like that. So again, GR done. Thank you, Mr. David. Let's go to school fees, right? If you've got children, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope nobody has 10 children though. But you know that children, if you're in primary school, they have 3 terms. Is it 3 terms? Yes. First term, second term, third term. And first term, second term, third term have all 3 different school fees. So you're going to calculate each of your child by the terms, by the number of children. So 3 terms could probably cost you like, say, well, of ₦1,000,000 naira. For 3 children, that's 3 million naira. And that's for 3 months, right? Now calculate that for how many terms they have in the year. That's 3 terms each. That's about 9 months, right? So technically that's how much you spend on school fees per year for your children. It's a lot of calculations, so I'll just suggest that you make a lump assumption of what it would be. Now, if you do not have children, God bless you. But if you don't have children, you know, that's good too. But if you're intentional about learning and knowledge acquisition, so I know that you're probably taking a class, maybe at LBS, taking a class on Udemy, taking a certification course, something like that, you know, or you're coming for the strategy factory or the convention, or you want to join the mastermind, that's also learning. So add that to what you'll be adding in your school fees and write SF done. SF done. I'll be waiting for us to complete that one, and then we go straight into personal expenses. If anyone's having difficulty with like understanding me, can they please let me know? Because I would really appreciate explaining it again, rather than have any of us fall off. All right, so the next thing we're going to go into is personal expenses. Personal expenses, if you're a woman on here, it's the wig appointment, nail appointment, lash appointment, pedicure, manicure, you know, spa treatment, gym membership, you know, what have you. If you're a man, it's probably maybe a haircut, a tire change. What do men spend money again on personally? New clothing, you know, a couple of Hennessy bottles 1 or 2 times with the guys, something like that, I'm assuming, for personal expenses, right? So when you're done with that, please write PE done. PE done. PE done. Oh my God, we have so much. So, child expenses, right? Childcare expenses. Again, if you have children, bless God. Child expenses here would be every other money that you spend on your child aside from their school fees. So taking them to the bouncing castle, medicals, everything that you spend on your child, gifts, birthday celebrations, what have you, that's a child care expense. calculate how much you approximately spent on that, and when you're done, write CE done. If you don't have children, this is a quick pass for you. Let's wait for them to catch up. Okay, great. The next one now would be communication. How much are you spending on data, airtime, and all of that? If you can calculate that, one of God's favorites. Because I mean, I can't sometimes. When you're done with that, just write CM done. How much do you spend on data and airtime? And then the next one would be giving. I know some of us don't like to track our giving, but you have to. How much do you give to your, for tithes, for offerings? If you go to the orphanages, how much do you ideally give? If you've got a girlfriend or your wife or your husband, how much do you, randomly press? That's how they say, right? How much do you give to family, friends, or what have you? When you're done calculating, right, just write GV done. All right, now any other expense that you think that you have that I did not add, please calculate that and write it for yourself. I'm going to give us like about a minute more to go through our numbers right now on the paper and sum up everything that you have. Sum up all the figures that you have written so far. And when you're done with your summation, just write SM done. Go back to all your calculations from your rent right now to the other expenses, sum it up together, and then when you're done, just write SM done. I want to see how many of us are done, and I'll go on now to the next thing I want to say. We'll be done in about a couple of minutes. Okay, great. So now the reason why we first off, right, the number that you have on your screen, what's it looking like? Are you happy with it? Are you maybe scared? I actually want everyone to unmute your mic. Are you scared with the numbers that you see on the paper? Go on, Mr. David.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
On the chat, one thing is missing. Since you say it's personal expenses, I was expecting to see probably there are people who probably take a personal loan, like civil servant and the rest of that. Won't that also be included?
Oh, sure. That's under your personal expense.
Yes. Car insurance and all lots of that. I thought maybe those two will come in, health insurance and health anything. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. So does anyone want to unmute their mic and let me know what their figure is looking like? How they feel about what their figure is looking like? Anyone? Okay. Now, in the absence of that, let's go straight to the reason why you had to take that class. Sorry, that activity. And here's why. Does your business right now, honestly, between you and God, does a business pay that amount to you as a salary? The amount that you have on your book right now or on your phone. Does a business pay you that amount monthly as a salary? Someone please talk to me or chat to me. Does it? Okay, not really. All right, thank you very much for that honesty, sir. Because here's the reason why we're taking this introductory class. The reason is because we want to help you understand how big your business needs to be. It already isn't big, and how to make it as big as it can be. For one thing, so that you have a business that, like we said in the earlier part, that can give you the things that you really need. That's number one. Number two is, does your business, how big does it have to be able to pay 20 people in your organization such an amount monthly? The purpose of this session is not even for you as a business owner. The purpose is for you to be able to build a business that can not only fulfill your own dreams, but fulfill the dreams of the people that you employ to chase your dreams for you. The purpose of the Strategy Factory introductory class is to help you understand how big your business can be and how big it needs to be for you to truly be a business or to be a business owner. So the numbers you see on your paper, how fast, how soon, how well do you have to build your business for it to be able to pay 20 people that amount monthly? Now, this is what we want to teach you at the Strategy Factory on Friday, the 29th of August at the Hotel and Suites. Like I said, this is an introductory class to the Strategy Factory. The Strategy Factory itself is held every month, not every month right now. I mean, to be fair, it ends this month in September. This year ends in September. But what the Strategy Factory does is to help businesses understand what a business is, what strategy is, help you create strategies for your business, help you understand people, processes, and control, help you understand the market that you operate in and how to analyze it, help you identify high network individuals and how to pitch your market to them, help you understand the business networking, business strategy, marketing channels, how to sell, and how to keep your customers, so customer retention. And what we do is that we get people every month to, we get people every month for 10 hours together. Sorry, I was distracted for a bit. We get people every month for 10 hours at the Hotel and Suites, and our sessions are extremely fun, extremely practical, and extremely relatable. And the Strategy Factory charge at 300,000 naira would give you access to the live class virtually for free for live. Will give you access to the strategy community, an alumni community with about 4,000 businesses, where you get access to post about your business every week. And we've, over the past couple of years, been able to facilitate 2 billion naira in trade within the alumni community. You also get 2 trainings sessions, which number one would be the one on sales, and the other would be on network building, on business networking. You also get a one-on-one consultation strategy session with an in-house strategist. Now, all of this is what you get to benefit by attending the Strategy Factory. Now, even better is the fact that if you're in this class right now, Yinka is willing to call you tomorrow or over the course of next week to give you a free one-on-one consultation on your business to help you itemize what isn't working, what is working, what we can do to, propel your business growth. So what I would like for you to do right now is, if you're interested in attending the Strategy Factory or in having a one-on-one conversation with Yinka to identify what the problem with your business is right now, kindly drop your number on the chat box and Yinka will give you a call tomorrow. Would anyone like that, please? If you'd like that, please leave a comment with your number and your name, and Yinka would give you a call. Thank you very much, Mr. David. Anyone else? All right, in the absence of no other person, thank you everyone for your time. Thank you for listening. And all right, Mr. Shin. But regardless, the consultation doesn't necessarily mean that you have to attend the Strategy Factory right now. It's a free consultation. It's just about identifying the error with your business and seeing what can change. So in the absence of no other, okay, thank you. Okay, I see you, Mr. David. Yinka, please confirm that you are on here and you'll be available to drop them a call tomorrow.
Yes, I'm here. I've got their number.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so okay. Okay, I'm just gonna give us a couple of minutes more to see if there'll be more numbers, and that will be it for today. I hope you found value from the class, though. Thank you. All right, so thank you again. All right, Mr. Shin. Again, thank you very much for the time, and have an amazing week.